Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Suikoden 2 walkthrough. Alright, so we are... Actually, I don't know where we're at. Recruiting Jean, obviously. Yeah, I just can't remember what city this is. Oh, this has to be, Two River. Okay. So, obviously, at this point, Jean is now recruitable at the Two River Rune Shop. Now, I had mentioned, I think it was in the previous video, Jean is actually one of the characters that you can use in the, like, war, like, skirmish battles, or whatever you want to call them. And she's got the, I want to say it's the lightning rune, or like lightning magic, something like that. Which is, it's nice. I like to stick her actually in the main character's unit, because again, generally with him, I like to kind of stay back, just because he's got that bright shield rune, you know, and he can heal multiple groups at the same time. But you only get to use that once, so it's nice to have something as kind of like a backup ability, you know, to kind of fill in those other turns where he's not, you know, healing, I guess. So that's kind of the route that I go with her. Unfortunately, in this Suikoden, you can't use her in combat, like the regular battles like this, which is a shame because I like Jean. I actually really like her in Suikoden 4. That's one of the Suikoden games where actually you get to use her in combat, and her lightning magic is just insanely strong. But anyways, alright, so moving on to the next character that we're recruiting here, and this is Yuzu. Now, Yuzu, it looks like she needs to, or has lost her sheep. So, I don't know if this is a tribute to Little Bo Peep. But, Little Bo Yuzu here has lost her sheep, and this is the Cobalt Forest. Now, if you notice there's a treasure chest right underneath that tree that I hadn't opened yet, and I had mentioned this when we recruited Hicks and Tengar, and I hope I grab it now. But that's the 3 sheep right there. I mean, that's just super easy. Oh, well, yeah, that's a shame. Now we're back in town, and I hadn't opened up that chest, so my bad on that. That chest, by the way, wow, I don't know what I was trying to say there. The chest has a Mangosh in it, so really, you know, again, my favorite shield in the game because of that added counter chance on that. Not the strongest defensively. There are, I believe, 2 shields that actually technically have a better defense rating. But again, I think that the counter rate is good enough to merit using those, or the Mangosh instead. But anyways, all right. So where are we headed to next? Can't remember if there's much more recruiting that we need to do. But, oh, I guess one good thing, though, with recruiting Yuzu at this point is now if you've got any of the livestock in your inventory or your castle's warehouse, you can move it to her instead. Again, though, as I've mentioned quite a few times, just because there's so many bugs in this game, you don't want to really give her more than one at a time. Oh, it looks like there's a... Ironically, speaking of livestock, there was a chick on the beach there, it looked like. I don't know if we can actually get that one or not, but it was there running around. But again, so what you want to do, though, is if you've got, again, say you've got 2 sheep in your inventory, what you want to do is dump one off into your castle's warehouse, and then only give her 1 sheep. Now, you can give her, say, a sheep and a chick at the same time, because they're different types, and that doesn't cause any issues. But handing her 2 of the same type, that's where you're going to run into the issues. So again, you have been warned. Okay, so yeah, looks like we're just gonna head back to the castle. I think taking my time here, that's for sure. I suspect I was thinking if there was anywhere else that was, worth going yet. As far as like all of the livestock and stuff, I'll be honest, I'm not going to go over all of the locations, just because there's so many good lists out there already. And again, if you've found this video, then I'm sure you're savvy enough to find some decent lists as far as the locations on that stuff. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to skip over, everything. That's for sure. But I didn't really think that it would be all that useful to make, say, a guide that had all of the different locations of, say, the livestock. Because again, unfortunately, with this game, I should back up. The one thing I did do though was, in any case where there was an item that was potentially missable, I pointed that out. So, I figured I could at least do that, and I think that makes sense. And again, at the towards the end of the game there, where you're, potentially running into issues with, missing certain things, I think it's helpful to, then consult a list of where those locations are at. But yeah. Anyways, looks like we're gonna drop off maybe some seeds or maybe some livestock. It's kind of nice, actually, the seed, or I should say Tony here, which is, who you drop the seeds off to, as well as Yuzu are right next to each other. So it's actually, pretty convenient to just run over here and dump off, whatever you need. I suspect at this point we could probably go back to that Cobalt Forest and find that other sheep. There is yet another bug regarding the Cobalt Forest, and again, I've already brought this up just so that, hopefully if you're watching this, you wouldn't make any mistakes there and kind of screw yourself out of some of the livestock. But what happens is if you open up I think it's the first treasure chest in the Cobalt Forest, it makes the lamb, I think it's the lamb there, or whatever, is it a sheep or is it a lamb, disappear, and you won't be able to get it for the rest of the game. So again, the first time there, I think when we were recruiting Hicks and Tengar and doing that whole quest line, that was our first opportunity to enter Cobalt Forest. And again, I tried to point that fact out there, that if we were to open up that treasure chest, it would make that sheep disappear. So I know eventually here I do have footage of me obtaining that, but it looks like what I can do, just trying to get rid of some items here. Those old books, I will say though, so I've already kind of gone over the whole giving too many livestock and all that. That doesn't seem to be the case though with the old books. I vaguely remember handing in a bunch of my old books to the, and I forget her name. It actually might be Amelia. But I remember handing her a bunch at the same time, and it didn't seem to make me lose any. So that bug, again, doesn't seem to affect the old books. Now, seeds and livestock, on the other hand, definitely. And then there's obviously, again, I've mentioned this quite a few times, the bug there regarding the drop, or the recipes that are dropped from enemies. But anyways, all right, so we are here in the war room, and yeah, mission successful here, and even Shin makes it out alive. either with Shin's help or sorry, with Fitcher's help. Oh, or maybe Fitcher just tagged along for the ride and... Alright, and we've got Nina. This is awesome. It's our destiny, that's why I followed Fitcher. And I made dinner for you. Hurry before it gets cold. And then she drags him off. Oh man, that's good stuff. I don't know why it's probably the most entertaining thing about this entire game. The goofy relationship and awkward as all, you know what, yeah, between those two. So, anyways. Alright, so it looked like we're spending going to sleep and then gonna head out of the... tried to head out of the room, which Nanami just says, nope, go back to bed. Okay, big sis. Alright, so here is another scene between Luca and Joey. So here, Luca obviously congratulating Joey or confirming. And there it is. There's the big reveal, what Joey asked for. You little punk. His Majesty does not take an oath lightly. Okay. Alright, so he's got another idea, and apparently he doesn't want others to hear it. I can't remember why that's the case, but okay, fair enough. Actually, now that I think about it, I suspect I know what that is, but yeah, we'll expand on that when the time comes. All right, so we are back and awake, alert, and running. All right, back to the war room. Let's see what the plan is. Seems everyone's here. Really? This is everyone? Where's Flick? I got held up. Busy pursuing that little brat, Nina. It took me all morning to find it. Oh man, it's such good stuff. Pay for that, Victor. Okay, south window has been destroyed. Muse and Green Hill are under enemy control. Someone managed to protect Two River. Should forge a bond with the only Alliance member left, which is Matilda. Yeah, I mean, that seems legitimate. Okay, so we're going back to Matilda. It's about darn time, too, because we haven't had any good leveling for quite some time. Alright, obviously, Nanami's making the cut, because she always does, because, I mean, let's be real, it's Nanami. She's amazing. Someone's got to lug around that spark room, right? Am I right or am I right? Alright, really, Nina? I'd be surprised if I added her, but she's kind of cool. Ulan, obviously, there's my number 2. My right-hand lady. Anita's gonna make the cut. It's hard to beat a Falcon Rune, that's for sure. Oh, Nina's coming! I assume that's gonna mean we're gonna put Flick in here too. Just because that Unite attack actually is pretty decent, and you know, with a Balance Rune, again, you can actually use it every single turn, so... okay, yeah, that looks like that's what we're gonna go with here. I suspect this will be short-lived. I don't remember using Nina and Flick for very long, so sort of a enjoy it while it lasts, I guess. Okay, yeah, so we need to take the force path. It does look like, yeah, here, alright, we're going to do a little bit of, and I thought I was going to do this in one of the earlier videos, but we really need to do some work here with moving units around now. again, and I've mentioned this a couple times, I actually like to put Jean with the main character's unit, so... Teresa, I don't know if it was a good idea or not to put Shin with her. Now, I thought that by using the Bombard ability, I could maybe trigger that critical, but I don't know if if that actually works. I suspect, and it probably would have been really easy to just click on one of these guys to find out, but I almost wonder if critical only fires on like actual like melee hits or something, or maybe not necessarily melee, but like if you have, I think you might need to be right next to the unit to actually have that happen. So things like Bombard, you know, it wouldn't fire because, you know, you're typically using Bombard from a distance. I would think that might be the case with Flick as well, because Flick has that, or his attack is just, you know, using like arrows. They're archers. He's an archer unit. It's a little bit of a weird combination because he's cavalry as well. So they're like, you know, cavalry mounted archers, I guess. So again, he's a little odd, but I never noticed that because I think I put somebody with critical. It might have been Shu with Flick the entire game, and I don't think he ever used that critical, or I don't think the critical ability ever fired with Flick. So again, there's probably something that I just missed, and had I read the critical description, it probably would have made it obvious. That's my guess anyway, but otherwise I just got unlucky and it just never fired. One kind of interesting thing that you can do though is stack all of the characters that have the critical ability together, and that'll really increase your chances of it actually happening. So that's sometimes kind of fun to do too, but I like to spread out to be honest, I like to spread out the critical abilities, and then on top of that, I like to try to stack as many characters with the cavalry, or like as many units with the cavalry ability as I could. You know, obviously they're redundant if you put them together, but I shouldn't say that. I don't remember now if cavalry just adds 2 to your movement. So if you put 2 cavalry units together, if they'd have 4. I actually never tried that, so that might even be the case, but I don't know how useful that is though either. Maybe there might be a battle where that, you know, having one person with a ton of movement would be useful, but I don't know. And again, you know, I like to just kind of spread those type of abilities out a little bit. But anyways, all right, so we're gonna head back to the Lake West area and head up to the Muse Matilda border and kind of continue on. Now, I think since we'll have access to that Muse Matilda path, we should be able to recruit Badeau. At least I think that's the case. We'll see once we actually get there. I might be jumping the gun on that still, but... Oh, if that's the case, though, we need a monster with us. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we'll see. Man, that's crummy. Again, I don't remember, though, if we're actually able to recruit him quite yet. I suspect once we... Well, I think I remember what happened now, too, is I got there and I was like, oh, man, I need a monster with me, and I had to run all the way back. So... I suspect, again, that that's kind of how this went down. Bob is still here. Pretty sure we still can't get him yet. Yeah, he's a stubborn guy. We need, like, I forget how many recruits it is to grab him. I think it's like 80. And I don't actually know where we're at right now, but we are short. I can at least tell you that. Short of the required 80. Okay, so yeah, heading up to the border here now. I do know that, yeah, it looks like we're almost at the end of the video too, so I suspect something happened here, or I came to the realization that I was going to need a monster in my party to grab him. Oh yeah, that's right. Alright, so Nanami asking if she, or if we think the cool guys, or if the knights will be cool like the guys that we met. Oh, it looks like I swapped up my party here. And then I didn't catch who's actually with me. Oh, so I grabbed Wakaba because I think we can recruit, Elsie Chan maybe. Actually, no, I think we're too early for that too. And then Bado here is not gonna answer us because, again, I don't think we have a monster with us, so... it's probably right now that I realize that. But anyways, I'm out of time, so as always, hope the guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.